long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Feel, don't think.
Fear is my ally.
The Force will be with you.
We are encouraged to love.
Be mindful of your thoughts.
I will not betray the Republic.
Hey, Your Worship, I'm only trying to help.
Scruffy-looking nerf herder.
I'm not afraid.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
So, this is Andrew Bray. He writes all you need to know books for Star Wars, the MCU, and Marvel. He's a very well-known journalist and author, and obviously he's worked for Lucasfilm quite a bit. And I didn't know who he was. I'd seen his name around, but I didn't know anything about him. You know, you see Star Wars author, and immediately you think Pablo Hidalgo in an ill-fitting Nazi uniform, but, you know, that's what you think. And he shows up in a Twitter post thread by Congressman Robert Garcia, well-known progressive from Long Beach, who obviously likes to spill his bullshit across the internet like fairy dust. Well, Mr. Garcia did this. Superman is about immigration. X-Men is about diversity and civil rights. Star Wars is about fighting fascism. Star Trek is about equity or equality. Now, I can see already a lot of people are just absolutely freaking out. The guy in his bio says he's a progressive, and of course, he's a Long Beach congressman in California, and who else would they vote for but dim-witted dumbass fascists like Robert Garcia. And everything he says about Star Wars is wrong. About Superman is wrong. Superman is about truth, justice, and the American way. If anything's about diversity and equality, it's Star Trek. And Star Wars, basically, is about fighting the people that turn Star Wars into garbage, right? So, Adam Bray posted a long screed at him. Now, again, I think the guy's far more qualified to talk about Star Wars than almost anybody on the planet except maybe George Lucas and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And I'm pretty sure that in the writer's room, when the authors were getting ready to do those anthology books where you get 4 or 5 writers together and they talk about different aspects of stormtroopers or clone troopers or the Force, that he was the one that got glared at by Pablo Hidalgo, who probably hates his guts. And Bray went off talking about how Star Wars is nothing like that. Star Wars is about fighting the Empire. It's about right from wrong, good versus evil. It's about the Force itself. It's about redemption. All the things that we know it's about, right? And it's about forgiveness. And that was the one thing that George really wanted, George being a Methodist as well as a Buddhist. So there you go. And he talks about how the Democrat Party has strayed from its anti-censorship, from its pro-individual rights and equality to this progressive cancelship culture that they've created. And it's just, to me, it's fascinating looking at this because I just shake my head and go, what does this all mean? Well, I can say what this means. It probably means that Kathleen Kennedy is no longer running Lucasfilm. That this guy feels that he is able, without backlash, to talk about what matters and talk about the fact that the progressives that have taken over and the SJWs don't know anything about Star Wars. Okay, and that's exactly what this is. All right. They, you can say that it's against, if they're fighting fascism. They're fighting totalitarianism. So I can sit there and say they're actually fighting socialism, and fascism is socialism. And there's nothing to contend. But to basically call people who have a different opinion what people like Garcia call us, and then say Star Wars is about punching Nazis, which is something fucking Pablo would say, when it's not. And it is. Because here's the deal. The people that are causing the trouble are you. They're the ones putting people into camps, taking force sensitive children and executing them, committing atrocities and genocides. Okay, it's not the people who are like, leave people alone. Like us. It's the people who are trying to take over Star Wars. Okay, and Adam Bray went in there and ran them over. Okay, he ran these bad guys over. And it was a great screed. And if you're on Twitter or X, I think you need to follow him, because think about what it means. Okay, sit here and look at this and think about what it means. All right? And then you'll understand.
This is Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen. With the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force. Do not return to the temple. That time has passed. And our future is uncertain. We will each be challenged. Our trust, our faith, our friendships. But we must persevere. And in time, a new hope will emerge. May the Force be with you, always.
So, now let's go to something else. As you all know, Pablo Hidalgo is still on X, hiding behind his private account, and he goes on Blue Skies very rarely. He's probably using private conversations, but that's it. And it's very interesting to me at some of the things he's been posting. Read into it what you want. But I find this last post from a few days ago, very interesting. So he basically said he went down to Burbank to host the annual Disney Halloween costume contest. This looks like busy work to me. And from what I can tell and what, the feeling that I get from Sparrow and others is that the story group is seeing their contracts run out. They're not going to be renewed. And that's what's going on here. So, this is busy work, if anything. And wow, they asked you to do, you're kind of sitting here going, really? Okay, I guess. So there's that. So I want you guys to contrast that with Bray's very brave statement to Garcia. Then we've got the ankler, Richard Rushfield, basically interviewing Kathleen Kennedy and her husband about the John Williams documentary. Most of it's behind a paywall. Now, first off, when you look at what you can read, they read like just two producers. They don't read like she's running everything. And I assume that I think that I read it, but Stacey Ballard was the one that brought up that, it was mentioned Kathy does run Lucasfilm, but really it reads like she's going into making documentaries about legends now. All right. So I also want to kind of tell you guys that they did not, in my opinion, talk about her contract because it would be out there. I mean, somebody, Matt Bellany would have heard it, or Deadline, or THR, or Variety, and it would have been everywhere. Okay, so they didn't talk about that, but what they did talk about was pretty blasé, and it looks like it's that she's going to use documentary filmmaking as a segue into her new career, which is basically making documentaries, and probably on the background of Jurassic Park franchise and doing things like that. That's it. I mean, that's it. So this is the latest on her, and it's really not much. And Rushfeld was not going to say anything to her and Frank about her contract. And if he did, and they said something, they told him, leave it on the down low. So there you go. Anyway, wanted to give you guys a heads up, and happy election eve. Go MAGA, go Trump. And I'll be here online monitoring the election from X, and it's looking really good here in Pennsylvania. So there you go. And I'll see you guys around the galaxy. Have a good night.